family life can be beautiful, but it can also be problematic. Even the most traditional and isolated families on this planet can live with treacherous feelings. But what happens when envy turns into betrayal? And when fate decides to put to the test what still remains between two brothers? This is a story from the Nenets lands. A story that begins with resentment, but ends with something the cold can never freeze. The life of the Nenets. In the frozen immensity of Siberia, where the white of the snow covers everything, and the wind sings ancient laments, an ancestral people live, the Nenets. Nomads by nature, they follow the reindeer, their silent gods, across the tundra. Among these men and women, with skin hardened by the cold and eyes shaped by resilience, there was a family like so many others. But within it, a story was being born. A story of pain, envy, and redemption. Reindeer are the primary means of transportation for the Nenets. Using sleds pulled by these resilient animals, they are able to cross long distances during seasonal migrations that can exceed 1,000 kilometers per year. Beyond transportation, reindeer provide meat and milk for nourishment. The meat is an important source of protein and fat, essential for facing the region's extreme cold. Reindeer milk, highly nutritious, is consumed fresh or transformed into other foods. A family like so many others. Kade and Tala raised two sons in the harshness of the frozen land. Two boys, two hearts forged under the same roof of reindeer hide, warmed by the same hearth, yet as distant as the far ends of the wind. The eldest, Tiku, was the image of strength and honor. Tall, fearless, eyes fixed on the horizon, like someone born to lead herds and decisions. The younger, Neko, watched, always watching. Neko had 23 winters on his shoulders, but felt that his time would never come. Tiku, at 25, was already a grown man in the eyes of his parents and the community. The elders respected him, the women admired him, and the reindeer followed him docilely, as if destiny itself had been drawn for him. Neko, in silence, carried the weight of comparison. The words never spoken, yet echoing in glances, gestures, in absence. While Tiku prepared for the future, Neko sank into the past. He remembered when he ran after his first reindeer and fell. He remembered that it was Tiku who tamed it. He remembered the first time he tried to ride the sled alone and failed. It was always Tiku who appeared to save him, and Neko, instead of gratitude, felt something dark and viscous, envy. Time passed, like the wind that never stops. Tiku married Aina, a woman with a gentle voice and determined eyes. As part of his journey to form a new family, his father gifted him 100 reindeer, 100 precious lives, a symbol of trust and continuity. Tiku left with his wife to set up his tent elsewhere on the tundra, and Neko stayed. He stayed with the silence, with the echo of the departure. with the absence that grew inside him like an endless winter. Every piece of news about his brother hurt more. Tiku was prospering. His reindeer were doing well. His wife was expecting a child. It was too much for Nico. It was as if the world was saying, "You were left behind." On one of those long nights, Neko gave in to the darkness. The sky was clear, but his soul was heavy. Driven by feelings he himself could not name, he walked to his brother's new camp at nightfall. He knew where the reindeer were. He knew how to open the corral. And he did. Slowly, with frozen hands and a heart on fire, he released the animals, guiding them far away. The reindeer, confused, ran and followed Neko. Some were lost in the snow. Others were attacked by predators and would never be seen again. Neko returned home without saying a word. He slept little. He ate less. When Tiku discovered what had happened, he was devastated. The loss was great. 70% of his herd was gone. But there were no accusations. Tiku did not know who or what was responsible. He only knew that he needed to start over, once again, as strong men do. A world of twists and turns. Months later, on a freezing late afternoon, Neko set out with his sled in search of firewood. One of his father's best reindeer was pulling it. The snow was heavy, the air cutting. He entered the forest, gathered some branches, and then a crack. A sharp, sudden sound. A thick branch fell from a tree and landed on him. Everything went dark. When he regained consciousness, it was already night. The cold cut his skin like blades. The pain in his leg was unbearable. He tried to crawl to the sled, but could not. The reindeer remained there, nervous, sniffing the air. And then, terror. A bear, a giant covered in dark fur, emerged among the trees. Its eyes glowed with hunger. It charged at the reindeer. The animal tried to flee, but it was tied to the sled. Neko screamed. He tried to stand, but his leg would not obey him. The sound of breaking branches, the bear's growl, and the reindeer's cries threw Neko into panic. The bear left, but as if death itself were coming to claim what was its own, the wolves appeared. First one, then two, 5, 6, surrounding him. The forest turned into a living nightmare. The cold, the pain, the fear, everything blended together. And when Neko thought it was the end, a sound cut through the chaos. A gunshot. Loud, precise. A second shot. The wolves ran. And from the darkness emerged Tiku. His face covered in snow, his rifle still smoking. The wolves scattered. Tiku said nothing at first. He simply ran to his brother, lifted him into his arms, and carried him to the sled. He supported him as he had when they were children. He took him home. For hours he cared for him. He warmed his hands, gave him something to drink. He saved his life. And when the night gave way to the first glow of dawn, Tiku spoke. His voice held no anger. It was full of love. He said that Neko was important to him, that he missed his brother, that even from afar he thought of him every day, that no loss of reindeer was greater than the pain of imagining that something could happen to him. Neko cried. For the first time in many years, he cried without hiding. The tears flowed mixed with regret. And between sobs, he confessed. He told him about the night of the reindeer. He spoke of envy, of the pain of feeling small. Tiku listened. silent, and when the words ceased, he stepped closer and embraced him. It was an embrace without judgment, an embrace that said, "I am your brother, and I always will be." The snow fell softly that day, as if even the sky wanted to begin again. Neko, now more of a man than ever, understood that his brother's strength had never been his enemy. It was his mirror, his guide. And in that moment, he decided he too would be worthy, not to compete, but to walk beside him. And so, in the white silence of the tundra, two brothers rediscovered the path of the heart. Where there had once been envy, there was now respect. Where there had been pain, there was now healing. And where the cold once reigned supreme, the warmth of eternal forgiveness was born.